Hello, humans. How are you? Let us talk about the event that brought Karen into our lives so long ago. What was that event? Well, Karen took a star crystal shard from a man's safe. Later, she went to the man's residence, incapacitated him, and duct-taped him to a chair in his own bedroom. Yes, she did. It seems that she was rather intent on discovering what the shard was and what it could do.
Ah, I see you awaken there, Mr. Man. I know that your head is full of questions, and I could probably guess most of them, but we'll not play that game. Focus on the important question. Are you going to survive whatever this is that is happening to you? That's where your attention needs to be, 100%. Are you going to survive? If you keep your focus and you cooperate satisfactorily, I can promise you that the chances are better than average that you will be just fine. If you choose not to cooperate, Mr. Man, well, I am being paid a considerable sum of money to extract some information from you, Mr. Man. I am a good extractor. These are my tools. I've heard people say that burning or a heart attack are the worst pains. Well, I reckon those people don't know about me. We don't want to have to use these tools of mine, Mr. Man. We really don't. I'm going to take your duct tape off now, and the tape will stay off if you follow two very simple rules. Rule 1, I will ask you questions. Rule 2, you will answer those questions. If there is any lying, any whining, or any attempt at calling for help or some such foolishness, your duct tape goes back on and I go to work. You do not want me to go to work, Mr. Man. Trust me on this point. Now, those are the rules. You know what the object in this photo is. Tell me everything that you know about it.
Well, that won't take long. You could have just phoned and... Okay. That thing has been in that same bottle, in the same spot, in the same safe, since it was placed there decades ago. My father put it there. I was never allowed to touch it. My father had no idea what the thing was any more than I do. My uncle, his brother, who was very much older than him, gave it to him to protect back in the 70s. My father promised to hide it and protect it. Shortly before my father died, he told me the rest of the story that my uncle told him. You're not going to believe that story.
You don't get to tell me what I will and will not believe, Mr. Man.
So, like I said, my uncle was older than my father by a lot. In the winter of 1944, he was in the U.S. Army, sitting in a snowstorm, in a forward position in the Ardennes forest, with his entire company. Some guys reported hearing mechanized units in the tree lines. Then more guys heard things. Then the Germans came out of the trees with guns blazing. My uncle's company was overrun in seconds. My uncle said it was like someone was hitting him from multiple angles with white-hot baseball bats. He was hit everywhere. He blacked out and figured that he was dead. When he opened his eyes, he says he saw an alien, an extraterrestrial alien, leaning over him like it was examining his wounds. He blacked out again. That went on for a while, him blacking out and coming to. But the whole time, the alien was doing something to him, and the pain was starting to go away. Then my uncle woke up, and he was walking. The alien was walking beside him, steadying him. My uncle said that they walked forever, and even walked through ongoing battles. He said he could hear the small arms projectiles whistling, humming, and buzzing all around him. Artillery blasts and grenade blasts nearby that he could only see. There was no heat or force associated with any of them. People were falling to the left and right, but my uncle and the alien walked right through it. The alien led my uncle to a field hospital. There, he placed my uncle on a cot and handed him that crystal. The alien said to keep the crystal hidden and to keep it safe, and that he would return one day to reclaim it.
So you're telling me that a little green alien gave your uncle this thing in the middle of the Battle of the Bulge?
Well, actually, my uncle said that the alien was gray and small and had a huge head with big eyes. He said that when the alien let go of his hand, for the first time since he was laying shot to pieces in the field, the alien vanished. 2 doctors that were standing nearby were shocked at my uncle's sudden appearance on a cot that was empty only seconds before. When they examined my uncle's wounds, they wanted to know which medics had treated him and which aid station he was in before coming to the field hospital. My uncle told them the story, and they naturally didn't believe him. The next day, they issued my uncle a new uniform and gear and sent him back into the lines, completely healed. And that is exactly all I know about that rock, or whatever it is.
You're right, Mr. Mann. I don't believe that story. But I see that you don't believe it either. You don't have a clue what this thing is or what it does. My employer isn't going to like it, but it looks like you survived the game. If you keep working at that duct tape, you can probably get unstuck from that chair. By morning, have a pleasant night, Mr. Mann.
Hey, turn that snow machine back on. Unfortunately, the man knew little about the shard, and Karen did not get the answers that she sought that night. Her curiosity still burned, though. Eventually, of course, she did find her answers. But that is another story. Do you like stories?
Could you leave me one of your tools? Hello? Hello?